Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I am Joe Finley.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we are here with you with another Coming Attractions episode. Season 5 is underway. The Goonies was last week. It was fantastic.
Season 5.
Season 5.
Wow.
Man, nothing makes you feel older than being an old person doing a podcast and an old person doing a stream and then being 5 years into a podcast that nobody cares about.
Sometimes it takes you. Man, Kid Rock had like 50 CDs out before they were Best New Artist.
Please don't compare us to Kid Rock because I don't like his trajectory, where his trajectory led him.
What are you talking
Golfing
about?
with the Trump.
Sex tape with Scott Stapp? A song with Sheryl Crow? He just married Loretta Lynn. Like, what the fuck? The guy's amazing.
He just
like, what the fuck? He did.
Oh, Lordy. So yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. We got an announcement for next week's episode, and I got a few other little announcements of my own. The first one I'll get out right away. People who have listened to me making appearances on Dueling Decades, you may or may not know, I am now officially a cast member on Dueling Decades.
Awesome.
So cool.
Congrats.
Thank you. Just know that doesn't affect this show at all. This show continues to drop every Friday.
Bummer.
Yeah, this was gonna be our live like public space where I was gonna break up with you. Yeah, I'm done with this.
So I would have fucking stormed out.
Oh no!
And then started backing because I need a ride.
That'd be the best. Oh, and then it's just me doing the episode by myself, and you just like,
yeah, it's just mean mugging
the whole time.
Oh hell yeah!
That's okay. It's the only way.
I can't mean mug now because this thing's on.
I can only perform when I'm being given a dirty look, anyways. So that's that right off the bat. And then in lesser news, I did my very first voice recording last week.
Awesome.
It is for a fan-created Star Wars radio play that's on the podcast Issue 0. You'll have made
Jar Jar.
It's yes. Oh my God! Imagine if they brought me in as Jar Jar.
Let me hear your Jar Jar.
Okay. Moi, Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Amazing.
Misa, your best friend.
It's like the guy's fucking right here.
Oh. No, he is. I pay Ahmed Best to hang out with me.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Of course you know what his name is. What the fuck?
Of course I know. But yeah, so it's literally just me yelling in the background, and I had the very fun situation of because I just used this equipment to record it. I didn't go.
Pew, 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 pew. I want to be like the sound guy.
Well, they actually use sound effects for such things.
Whatever that guy says.
Zucchini?
It sounds like he says zucchini. Zucchini!
Oldie!
Yeah, whatever.
But it's
Fucking glasses keep fogging up, bro.
Yeah, I tell you though, it's a little warm in here. I apologize for that. I'll open the window.
Don't, it's fucking hot. Forget it. That's why
fine.
I like it.
But the was the radio play. You just reminded me of the old Star Wars radio plays that I used to listen to, and how the describers are so funny in that because they use the Force and stuff like that, and that doesn't play in an audio format. So like you're sitting there and
he's forcing,
and like say for example like the scene where like Darth Vader like takes the gun from Han Solo and he like just calls it over to him, and now he's got the gun and stuff like that. And the way they have to do it in the radio play, I should have set it up just so you could hear it. He's sitting there, so he shoots at him and he's like, wait a minute, he just blocked those shots with his hands. He's like, and now I call your gun to me using the Force. And then you hear like, and then
there be a guy like a narrator who's like, then he uses the Force to suck the gun from
like a described video
hand. Yeah,
I think
like a narrator.
I think they try to avoid that to just like they're
I am
trying
sinister and my motives are also sinister. Well, I am reaching over to grab your breast.
Well, most of the time it's very easy to kind of describe what you're doing, but because it's something that's not in the realm of reality, it's a weird. Because then he even had
that, and now I know you're going to do that.
Yeah, and then he also came. Well, no, because he's saying it. He's like, I'm calling your thing to me. And then like then Han reacts to it. He's like, I can't believe it. I was just holding my blaster and now it's in Darth Vader's. Like, I'm like, first off, if you're listening to the Star Wars radio play, you get the Force, you get like all that stuff. And then like, you could have just as easily had that like that sound effect that they used, but then it was just that kind of like, from here to like, whoosh across kind of thing. But then they could have just easily had Han go like, my blaster.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
except for,
keep it simple. But yeah, anyway, so the podcast Issue 0 just did a run on a Star Wars radio play called Mud 79, and they were looking for people, and so I reached out to him. I'm like, I've never done like this. I'm like, I do podcasts, but I've never done like a radio play. And he's like, I'll start you out on a bunch of just random voices. So
You're gonna be like Rustling Bush number 5.
Again, not sound effects. But
I don't even know.
I do know because he was.
He told me I did it.
He told me I performed it. It's done. It's in the can, as they like to say.
Can.
And what they, so yeah, he just told me to do a bunch of like random screaming and stuff like that. So I'm literally sitting there. I'm like, okay, I sit up on the mic and all that, and I'm like, help. And then I'm like, oh, I'm in an apartment, and there's a very good chance that there's people who are just not interested in hearing me scream for my life and then start
they don't
screaming.
Even care.
No, but literally I went from help to fire. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a terrible goddamn idea.
I'm being raped with fire. They're like, oh God.
So I moved my recording studio into my closet, and not the first time I've been in a closet.
Trapped in the closet.
Again, oh my God. How we need to make our own Trapped in the Closet. I'm gonna reach out to some. I know some people.
R. Kelly.
No, I know some people who can do music and stuff like that. I'll make somebody just make a long ass like thing, and then we'll just make our own Trapped in the Closet live.
I'll trap you in the closet, baby.
I'm sincerely gonna do that. We're gonna make that happen. I got a few people I could reach out to just like give me some.
R. Kelly needs money. He will sue us.
No, but not if we did. Prison? He's no.
What happened with him? I can't remember what happened. I forgot all about him.
He became Bill Cosby.
Oh my God.
The stress.
Bill Cosby alive in prison still?
He's alive in prison still.
Good for him.
He's doing great.
Good for that guy.
He's
doing great.
We live in a world where, like, now obviously knowing what Bill Cosby did was friggin' horrible. I'm not saying that it's not horrible, but just bring yourself back to like the 80s, and we live in a world where that Bill Cosby was never going to jail. Now we live in a world where Bill Cosby is in jail, but OJ is roaming free. We did it, America and Canada and Bulgaria and all you fucking places. So that's what I've been up to, but you have had a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
I am really bummed out. I don't have my Tales from the Sea button set up. I tested.
It's sort of Tales from downtown St. Catharines.
Okay. Tales from life.
Okay, so dig this.
Yeah.
Okay, so first I've been kicked out of like every bar within like a 500-mile radius. Yeah. None of it my fault.
Yeah. Only one common denominator, but none of it his fault. So first I'm at like Chuck's in Leamington.
Okay. And the bartender lady is like flirting with us, and she's like, well, you like a lot of head on your beer, and all these stupid comments and whatever. Yeah. So me and my buddy were like, hey, we're like, give us your snap. Maybe we get together for some drinks or something, whatever. She's like, okay. So she gives us her snap, her snatch chat. And then I text her or whatever. I snap her, whatever you call it. And I'm like, hey, you want to go hang out sometime? Yeah. Her response was, ew. EW 17 Ws. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you, fucking 12? Like, I was like, well, yeah. I was like, that's good. And I'm telling you right now, way better looking than this chick. Yeah. Way better looking. This is one of these people that's like, she's a 3, looks in the mirror, thinks she's a 12. Okay. She's only going to go out with some fucking firefighter or whatever the fuck. Anyway, so would I. So I'm like, she goes, ew. And I was like, do you mean ew as in like gross? Yeah. And I was like, geez, girl. I was like, you're pretty brutal. I was like, you could have just said no, or I'm not interested, or whatever. And now I'm just like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I'm like, fuck it. I was like, no. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't believe you. We have to go out. And she's like, I'm not that type of girl. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Like the type of girl that doesn't go on dates? Like the type of girl that doesn't. So I was like, already starting to get pissed. I was like, what are you, the type of girl that doesn't like to have orgasms? And she's like, you're disgusting. Yeah. Never come into Chuck's again. Yeah. Okay, now here's my question. Yeah. Can you ban somebody from where you work over a personal service? Like, I wasn't a dickhead at the bar. This is like, I'm a dickhead to some girl at the bar, and she's like, you know what? If you ever come into the Rochester Burger King, fucking forget it. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? It's like, what? She could theoretically go, make her claim that if you went in there and she saw you and she's like, that dude's friggin' harassing me. I was like, whatever. But she could do that. She started it. Yeah. She insulted me by saying, ew. Mm-hmm. That's an insult. That's like a 12-year-old insult. She might as well put a raspberry at the end of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's okay for her to say that, but I cannot then, you know, kind of prod a bit.
Yeah.
That's awful of me. How dare I?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first one. Write me in, okay? Write me in. Tell me.
Yeah.
I hope she writes me in. Anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I think the first thing she does when she is somehow immaturely disgusted by you, and then
I was like, "Are you 12?" Like,
and then beyond that, then feeling insulted by you. Then the next thing she does is listen to your podcast. She's like, "I'm gonna see where this guy's really coming from. I'm gonna subscribe on Spotify."
I hit her my card.
Yeah.
It's like, stop spitting at me. Take this card. Okay, so the next one, I'm in St. Catharines.
Yeah.
And I go to Daisy Duke's bar. Okay, I'm going to say it by name. Never go there. It's trash. Okay, so I'm in there minding my own fucking business. And this dude walks over to me. I shit you not. I don't even know who the guy is. I'm just sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I couldn't get served at one bar.
Yeah.
It's all one big long bar.
Yeah.
And there's a bar here, and then there's like a space for people to line dance, I guess, whatever the fuck. There's nobody there line dancing. They're just trying to do fucking drugs.
Okay.
Anyways, and then there's another bar over here right next to the street.
Yeah.
I go to the one bar. She's like, we won't serve you. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, the one bartender is intimidated by you. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I go try the other bar. They serve me.
Yeah.
The one bartender comes over and she's like, the girl that says she's intimidated by you is claiming that you stayed after work and harassed her. And I was like, what? Like, and I'm trying to think in my mind. And I was like, oh, I do remember this one time, this guy screaming at me, but I had stayed at the bar until very last call.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, you know, then they're cleaning up and everything. And I'm just standing outside smoking, and she just happens to come out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey. And then her boyfriend's like, you fucking get away from my girlfriend, a bull. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Anyways, so I go to this other bar. I'm like, okay, forget it. I go to this bar. And all of a sudden, I say to the same bartender who just told me what that girl was thinking or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, I was like, lady, I just get in shit wherever I go. I was like, I just do nothing and I get into shit. Literally about 7 minutes later, this dude walks over to me. He's like, you're sitting in my seat. You're drinking my beer. And I was like, oh, I was like, dude, I was like, are we seriously going to do this? We're going to do this right now.
Yeah.
I was like, you're seriously doing this? I was like, clearly this is not your seat. Clearly this is not your beer. And I look at the bartender lady and I'm just like, you see? I was like, this is the shit that happens to me all the time. Yeah. I go outside to have a cigarette because the guy's sitting over there just staring at me. Yeah. And I'm like, I go out to have a cigarette. I turn around. He's right in my face and just boom, socks me right in the jaw. Oh. I was unconscious for a brief moment. I go down on one knee. It's still got some jazz on there. Right. I go to one knee.
Literally
when my
jazz.
When my knee hits the ground, I come to and I'm like, oh my God. And I look up at this guy and he's just like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Because I guess that was supposed to do it. Yeah. And so I fucking, like, I hit the knee. I come flying back up. It's really fast. Yeah. I grab him by the shirt and I'm running forward as I pick him up and then throw him. Yeah. He goes flying and hits this thing that should have flowers on it, but this is not the type of bar that would actually put flowers on there. Yeah. They probably have drugs dug in there for their like Easter celebration. We're like, hey, find some drugs. Find the crystal meth. Nice. And then so I throw this guy. And then all of a sudden the bartender has me in like a chokehold, and I had started walking towards the guy to I was like, I'm going to kill this guy. Yeah. And the bartender grabs me by the throat and he's dragging me back. And I grab the corner of a table and he's still dragging me back. So then the rest of the table spins around. I then pick the table up and then throw it at the guy. Right? Just throw the table at the guy. And I'm like, this is bullshit. He's like, you're kicked out of this bar forever. And I was like, I don't really care. It's kind of a shitty bar. And then I have to pick all my shit up off the ground. And I'm really fucking mad because I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of bullies. I just want to go to a bar and have a fucking drink, and some asshole has to do this. Yeah. So I'm standing outside. I'm waiting for this guy. I'm like, fuck this. I don't even care. I'm waiting for this guy. And there's tons of people that have been mulling around. Like there's people everywhere. Yeah. And so I'm ranting and raving and people come up to me, what's going on? And I tell them, I'm like, holy fuck. And then these girls, because I have to stand behind the curb. Yeah. Like in the parking lot where the pizza is, and then there's the curb, and then like Core Block is right there, and then the fry place. Okay. And so I'm standing in the parking lot waiting for this guy to come out. And all of a sudden, his buddy comes out of the bar. And his buddy's like, just leave it alone. Just leave it. And I'm like, no. He goes back in the bar, like a couple minutes go by. These girls are giving me drinks. They're like, have a shot, have a drink, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it's end of the bar time. Yeah. This dude comes out of the bar.
Yeah.
And when he comes out of the bar, his buddy comes over to me and is like, let it go, let it go, let it go. Suddenly, from over here, some dude comes over and starts screaming at this dude. He's like, you fucking get the fuck out of here. He's like, this fucking guy is tired of this bullshit. He's like, and he's going to kick that fucking white guy's ass over there. They were there, the friend and the other guy, they were black dudes.
Yeah.
And he's like, this white guy's going to kick that other fucking white dude's ass, and I'm going to fucking stand here and watch it happen. He's like, you get the fuck out of here. And then the dude comes out of the bar.
Yeah.
And when he comes out of the bar, this group of dudes who are like 18 feet tall, they're like mountains. They're like 5, 6 of them. They rush the bouncer. They rush the dude.
Oh my
And
God.
they are like, they're not fighting or anything, but they're like, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. This fucking asshole right here, blah, blah, blah. And then a group of these other little dudes come running over. I shit you not, there's like 12 people. There's like 12 people just on these two guys.
I do like a story where you're the little guy in this story.
Yeah, and then this guy scurries off with his tail between his legs.
Yeah.
And we all have like this awesome, like in the parking lot, like, yeah, justice prevails kind of thing. And then I found out later that this dude's like a super drug dealer.
Oh my God.
And I was like, if this guy was a real fucking drug dealer, he would have shot me. What a pussy. And the whole street was with me, man. It was like awesome. It was like the end of a Simpsons episode. We're all like, woo, yeah. But then the next day, my jaw felt like an elephant stomped on it.
Yeah, I imagine.
Oh my God, my teeth, my whole mouth. I was like, oh my God.
Jaws don't deal well with anything.
And it was the other side.
If I
Because
eat,
he hit me on this side and this side. I was like, oh. If I don't fight, I don't even know how to fight.
Yeah.
Pushing the guy, I hurt my hand so bad. I'm like a slapper. You know, I'm just like, oh.
that was, well, I mean, actually, the only, and it wasn't even a real fight, but the closest thing to a real fight I've ever been in was In Defense of You in grade 8. And that was when it was right before a school trip. And everybody, I don't even remember what was happening. We were all running around. You know, in Jurassic Park when all like the gallimimuses are running around together and they're just in a pack and they're running around.
The little guys.
There was, no. Well, like they were taller than the humans, but like they had that like thing ran like
yes, okay.
like this. I'm gonna do this for, but
Like
it was
Peggy.
like pretty much
Peggy run.
pretty much the entire school was just like doing that. Like, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I remember you ran by, and then a guy, I'm not gonna use his name, he like sweep kicked your leg and you went down. And like cause you know, tripping people makes people fall down, especially when they're running. And I saw that and I just beeline right for him and I just floored him. I just like, again, I just shoved him and he just went, whoa, because he's like not a heavy guy. And I keep in mind too, I was also a very small guy. Like this was probably what would have been billed as the least interesting fight in the world. And like we're not those wiry featherweights who could actually like do damage. It's just like
snoozing on each other for 20 minutes.
It's like it's the only fight that people would watch and go, "Aw."
Yeah, and then at the end of the bell rings, you're like, let's go get some wings. Good fight.
But then, so what happened was, I remember then we're sitting there and I'm like, oh God, now we have to, I thought that was going to be the end of it. And he's like, apparently we have to fist fight now. And I'm like, so like, I'm like,
apparently,
like Duke's kind of up, right? And he did this thing where he like cupped his hands and he was like,
that's like how Brock Lesnar fights.
Boxing,
like weird.
He was like boxing my ears and I like, he got a couple and then I just like grabbed him and I put him in a headlock. And I remember that got a pop.
Like got a pop.
That
from
got
the
a pop.
crowd.
I remember this all really well, and
I love that. It got a pop.
It got a pop, and it was it was just this thing.
Where was I on the ground still?
No, yeah, you know, you were unconscious for like 16 hours. I think it was.
God.
You're so weak.
That's why I remember this.
That's all I remember is
My
I think you were in the hospital and like they were like giving you blood transfusions.
Yeah.
No, you were up. You were there, and
I ran.
Yeah,
I ran. I was like, Joe, let Joe deal with this. Fuck this.
I'm not crying because a 4-foot tall Vietnamese guy tripped me a little. But
okay, just continue.
No, and then so that happened, and he was just doing it, and like people are like, do something. Like I kind of froze because he's not hurting me.
Yeah,
and like
he's
doing
really
this,
want to do anything
and I don't really want to fight. Yeah, and I'm sitting there, and then so finally somebody's like, "Do something." So I just grabbed him. I put him in a headlock, and it was like I rage grabbed him. I was like, "Ah!" And everybody's like, "Ah!" No! And like it was just this big thing. And then it was immediately stopped. And then we both had to be on the same school bus to go on a school trip.
Of course, and sit next to each other.
We got in trouble. They got brought to the principal's office and like, what was that about? And I told them what it was about, and they're like,
know what it was about.
and they're like basically like get lost, whatever. And then we get on the thing, and they're like, because they had to hold up the bus to wait for us, and we get on the thing, and then they're like, what was that about? My teacher, who in hindsight was
Todd.
a very no.
The answer always is just Todd.
No, but my teacher was a really like irresponsible dude when it really came down to it. That's probably why like a couple years after our school closed or stopped being like that kind of a school, he was like working at a Blockbuster. Like he was just not a teacher anymore. So I don't know what happened there. I'm hoping for two reasons. I'm hoping he wasn't like a harass the students kind of guy, because then like, what the hell, am I chopped liver? But
you ever harass me,
right? Yeah, exactly.
What the hell?
Jeez.
What am I, nothing?
Like at least put your hand on my leg. I'm telling you,
I am like, the room is a glass of water.
Yeah.
I am fucking Alka-Seltzer. Blue, I'm telling you right now, if you're a fucking asshole, it comes out. If you're a nice guy, it comes out. I don't know what it is. I just draw. I'm like a Biore pore strip, baby. I just pull it out. And I am just all the
what a
time,
great analogy.
people are just mad at me.
Yeah.
It's like when I would go on a boat, I'd be like, hey, nice to meet you. I fucking hate you. It's like, wow. You know what I mean? Like I'm a nice guy. I try and, you know what? It's just like people fucking hate me.
Yeah.
Fucking hate me. Never go to Daisy Dukes. Or Chuck's in Leamington.
Unless it's a bar that's not where like close to where we are, and it's called Daisy Dukes. Like if it's in Kentucky and it's Daisy Dukes, go to that one.
Bowl.
They're probably
fucking right, man. Hell yeah.
That was great.
It's like it's Dolly night, and all the dudes dress like Dolly. Woo! They ride the bull.
That's amazing.
Titties flying around.
Probably. All right. Next week, guys.
What are you fucking talking about? There's all this news to talk about.
Oh, we still got news. I was just gonna break it up with a little announcement.
Fuck that.
Okay, let's go into the news.
Keep going.
Keep going to news.
So I heard in the world of video games, big news.
Yep.
Xbox has purchased Bethesda.
Yes.
For $7 million.
Yeah.
All they do is make fucking games.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they paid more than they got for Walt Disney, or more than they got for Star Wars and Indiana Jones and the Muppets and...
Well, that's billion. You said million, right?
Sorry, no, 7.8 billion.
Oh, you serious?
Yes, billion.
Oh, that seems a lot.
Yes. For the company that makes Dupe, they don't even have any games.
Do you know what I'm thinking it is then? Okay, because I misunderstood you when you said it the first time, because I'm like 7.8 million, that's nothing. But 7.8 billion, what that tells me is they have proprietary shit. They have technologies or things that they can use, or like engines that like do AI things or whatever.
Because that is absurd.
Yeah, that is an awful lot.
Microsoft is, you know what I mean? It's like they don't even have any fucking games coming out.
Yeah.
The Xbox Series X is going to come out, and I guess the whole cool thing is that it's backwards compatible. And you can play everything, but it's like, wow, okay, what am I going to play fucking Halo again?
Yeah.
Like, what they're not going to have a new game come out for like 2 years.
I can at least appreciate that. I mean, both systems definitely have their things that people are going to complain about, because people complain about fucking everything.
Of course they do.
My
complaints are right, though.
Yeah, but like, because they were talking about, that was one of the things on PlayStation. They're like, PlayStation, you're going to be able to play, PlayStation 5, you're going to be able to play Spider-Man, but your saves aren't going to be there. So you're going to have to like play it from scratch again.
That's absurd. Like the first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. PS5 is going to blow Xbox out of the fucking water.
Yeah.
Like they did before.
And then Nintendo's going to creep in and do it again.
Nintendo and PS5 have all the exclusives. They have all the cool characters. They have all the franchises. Xbox has nothing.
Yeah.
Well, now they have Doom. So you could go back and play all the fucking games you already played before.
I like Doom.
Like Mario 150, which I'm totally going to buy because I'm an idiot. How many fucking times do I have to play Mario 64? I don't know. You tell me, Nintendo, take my money.
I know. What I want more than anything, because I guess there were rumors that like some specs, or it was, so they came up with, somebody found like something that Nintendo filed maybe for a...
it's probably a sexual harassment complaint against
maybe
Wario.
for a patent or something like that. Can you just adjust your mic?
No.
Like just plug.
I don't even hear anything.
I just heard a little like squeaky.
I did too.
No, don't pull down on it. Push into it.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it's they were talking about their proprietary stuff that they were filing like patents for or something, and they sounded like they were working towards like a Nintendo 64 Classic.
Right.
And I was like, oh man. Because,
oh yeah, the little mini.
Yeah, because what that would mean, well, what I want more than anything, and I don't know if it's even possible, but if that thing has Bond on it, I'm purchasing 2 of them.
Oh yeah, well, no, there's a problem too because that's retro.
That's
So and retro was Xbox, which they've done nothing with, or sorry, Rare.
Yeah,
they've done nothing with Rare.
Yeah,
they've come up with. I'm guaranteeing you, Xbox is going to come up with some good games, but they're not going to have anything compared to what PS5 has.
Well, the problem is having.
They don't know what they're fucking doing.
Well, it's also the head start.
They're not Japanese either. That's the fucking end of it right there.
That's
PS5 Japanese, Nintendo Japanese, Xbox American. Take a big Japanese fart right on their heads.
Ew, which I think is the thing.
Coming to Japan! Woo! Mail order bride! I want to be the mail order bride.
Yes.
You order me.
I come there.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
He's very simple to take care of. You give him enough change to go to the used panty machine.
Good for the
once
day.
a week. And
get my giggles out.
He doesn't even use them. He's just like hee hee.
I'm too shy and nervous.
And then he looks at everybody. He's like, "Look what I bought!" Oh no! And then he throws it into the street and
other dirtbag grabs it for free.
And then everybody, because he's like a foot and a half taller than everybody else, they're all running from him. They're like
giggling. Oh no, the guy!
Well, that was like a guy I knew I worked with who. Anyways, I reserve judgment, but he was a monster of a man. And like he was like 6'6", he was like 350 pounds, like he was this big dude, and he used to go to Japan all the time.
That's hilarious.
And like he would be there, and I'm just like, he's like, I'm not kidding you. He's like, he's like, people didn't even make it up to my nipples. Like everybody was like down to here on me.
That's amazing.
He's like, you would go to like a train station or something like that, and it would just be this wall. He's like, all I'm seeing is just black hair.
Tops of heads.
Is just the top of everybody's head. He's like, it's just a sea of black hair. And it's like, he's like, it's like being above a cloud.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you're just seeing the top of all this stuff, and it's just crazy.
Fucking right, I like that. Likes his ladies tiny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Hanging off his dick like a jungle gym.
Yeah. Okay, well, we definitely flew off on a weird tangent there because we were talking about Bethesda. Let us say a quick RIP to Joseph Laurinaitis, a.k.a. Road Warrior Animal.
I just saw him at the thing, at the Comic-Con. He was one of the wrestlers
that's
there.
right.
Him and Sergeant Slaughter and the Killer Bees. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really sad. He was 60 years old. I loved the Legion of Doom.
The Legion of Doom was fucking wicked.
AKA the Road Warriors or what have you.
Fucking awesome.
But yeah, they were so freaking good. And I'm very sad that that's done now. Well, I guess they've been done ever since he died.
I have a new crush in my life. Like, there's a new woman in my life.
Who is it?
Her name's Janelle Monae.
Oh, I know. She's great, isn't she?
She is completely gorgeous.
Yes.
You know what? I got her Arc Android, her first CD. I loved it.
Yes.
And then it kind of fell off from her. Like I just stopped, you know what I mean? Like I just kind of forgot about her. And then I found out that her math skills helped these white dudes go to space. And I was like, that is selfless. What a selfless act. So then I listened to her CDs again. They're amazing. And I love you, Janelle Monae. Have my babies.
Okay. He'll have yours just so you can keep your career rolling.
Absolutely. I'll stay at home, girl.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He'll Pete Davidson all over this.
You know I will.
That's really the dream, isn't it? I didn't think in the end I didn't think my dream was to be Pete Davidson, but then it turns out
Pete Davidson's penis.
Yes.
Whose penis would you rather smell? Pete Davidson's or John Mayer?
Oh wow. No, let's really think about this. If we're going to spend the time, I think I'm going to say John Mayer.
John Mayer's had a lot, like Aniston.
Basically, every rumor with him, is true.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson, you could watch them doing it and you still don't believe it.
He had Ariana Grande and Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think like I'm going to go John Mayer because
John Mayer's been knocking out of the park a lot longer than Pete Davidson has.
And John Mayer has been not living in his mother's house for way longer as well. So, and also
what's wrong with that?
I don't.
Kind of a fucking loser at that age lives with their mom.
No, I just mean that
Love you, Mom.
I just mean that he's like literal
great kisser.
Yeah.
Love you, Mom.
All right, fine, fuck it. You made too good of a joke that I'm not even gonna fucking defend myself now. But yeah, no, I gotta go with him because like that's.
I also go with John Mayer.
It's gonna age like a fine wine. He's been doing it longer. Like when the first rumor of him being with somebody famous came out,
super hot chicks.
Yeah,
like wow.
Like at that point, Pete Davidson was maybe 12.
Yeah.
So like, because he's a young
20 something.
He's like 23.
Oh, he's gonna be so rich. I hate him.
No, he could burn out before then.
Oh, yeah, look at his eyeballs. He looks like he's already burned out a couple times.
I could see him just becoming sick of the whole thing, and then he just becomes one of those like stand-up comics who just they only do clubs. Even their specials take place in these tiny ratty clubs, and they just rail on the showbiz system.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, the system sucks, and it always seems like it's the people who the system does. Well, yeah, but at the very least,
more jaded.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that like Bill Hicks was a little bit different because I think he didn't get all the mainstream attention that he deserved because of what he was saying. Whereas this version will be somebody who's saying all that shit because he had already been rejected.
Yo.
So he's more like a jilted lover than a guy.
I'm gonna switch gears.
What?
I'm gonna switch gears into.
Oh, I didn't hit the pit. Oh no, we're gonna die.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Sorry, I can't try and
in all these, you dramatic in a day, with all these like online like do the movie. This really neat one I saw on ET was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh yeah. And it was set up by Sean Penn. Yes, but Sean Penn wasn't Spicoli. Shia Laboeuf was Spicoli. Apparently, he was amazing. He like memorized his lines. Yeah, there was a reunion of Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston because they were in it. Yeah. And it just looked like, it really looked like they were having a ball. But my question is Brad Pitt played Judd Reinhold's role. Why didn't is Judd Reinhold still alive?
Judge Reinhold.
Judge Reinhold. Oh yeah, he is Judge with Judge Reinhold. Where that
my name is Judge. He's still alive. He's still alive.
Why
Actually,
did he do it?
I don't know. It was probably just to bring
the real people.
Well, and they could have got pretty much everybody, I would have imagined.
But they're like, oh, would you rather see Brad Pitt play the character he never fucking played, or Judge Reinhold? People make me sick.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to put together like my thought here. It was I think that the reunions were starting to maybe like get a little old with people. Right. And it's like, we just did 4,000 of these reunions. Yes. And it was like, as much as I would like to see the reunion and stuff like that, despite the fact like I could give a fuck where Damone's at.
Oh, how dare you?
I just see him sitting there and he's like working
trying to sell tickets outside goddamn Detroit, whatever center.
He probably really is doing that now. Yeah. And he's still like, he's constantly texting Forrest Whitaker and he's like, leave me the fuck alone. I told you.
And he calls himself Damone still. He's like still in the role, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but there was a scene where Brad Pitt, I guess Judge Reinhold's character was named Brad. So Jennifer Aniston played Phoebe Cates, which they did on purpose so that she's like, hey, Brad, you blah, blah, blah. You know, the scene where you get to see Phoebe Cates' boobs? Yes. What a fucking movie.
It was it's a coming of age tale, but not for them. It was for us. It's really like when you look at all of those ones, those old like the old coming of age tales.
You're sick.
Yeah.
Fucking pervert.
But I gotta adjust your mic. There's something going on with your mic.
I can't even hear nothing.
You can't? Oh, whatever. Okay. Well, you'll be missed. But sorry. But I don't even know what I was saying now. We broke everything. I don't know. I'm just gonna switch gears again then because I completely lost. Okay, that was a better shift. I guess because they're also doing an all black Friends reunion thing where it was like Gabrielle Union and Sterling K. Brown and all these people are doing. I can't remember.
That's hilarious.
And it was.
I like that.
I like it too. I was like, I kind of like the idea of different people doing that shit. I think. I don't remember which one. I don't remember which one it was. I think it's Endgame that he's doing, but Josh Gad did a thing. It's like, it's trying to get people to register to vote. And he's like, so if you go to this website and you register to vote and it's like enough people register to vote, he's going to reenact all of Avengers Endgame as Olaf.
Oh my God.
So it's like, well, it's a fun little thing that a celebrity can do, especially in a situation like this where none of them are really like, well, I mean, a lot of them aren't working because of restrictions or what have you, right? Or it's just production really shut down. No, but I'm just saying, it's like, hey, it's something they can do, right? It's nothing for them to do it, and it helps out in some way.
Thanks for charity or something. That's cool.
Yeah, I like all that shit for charity, man. Fucking A indeed.
Fucking A.
I love it. Like, I still love that. If you haven't seen the community table read was really good. And Josh Gad did all those reunion things of like Princess Bride.
It's funny you say community because this thing I'm looking at here reminds me of the cover of that one Childish Gambino CD. Yeah. He's got like this thing around his head and his head's there in the middle.
Well, look a little bit closer. That's Donald Glover right in the middle.
Oh my God.
Hi, Don.
Donald Glover plays the Logicam. He could do it. He's good.
I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I've been going through, I've been redoing some stuff for our YouTube page, and I've been doing new thumbnails, just a bit new design and stuff like that. And I don't know why I was standing like this. I'm being very contemplative about what I'm about to tell you. But
I'm sweating?
Yeah, well, it's hot in here. And you literally came from the gym.
I've been so sweaty ever since I started really giving her again. Holy fuck.
But yeah, I was going through all these things and the titles of our episodes and like the images I had to pull up and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, Donald Glover has been the title of a lot of our episodes. Like a lot of
Understand, them. Donald. Mm-hmm. Get here.
Yeah, be on our show.
The pinnacle of your career. Stop fucking around with all the Hollywood bullshit and go to get over here, man.
Stop the rap game. Be on our podcast / stream.
Fucking right.
Right? But yeah, I was sitting there and it was like, there was one episode that's literally just called Donald Glover is the star of this podcast. And then there was one, and then it was a Coming Attractions episode where we talked about Donald Glover becoming a Lando. And then there was another one where we talked about Donald Glover with everything that was going on with him.
We're obsessed with Donald Glover. Big deal.
Yeah.
So what?
I'm not obsessed with Donald. Donald, call me John. Donald, call me.
Janelle, call me Donald, call him.
Yeah. Janelle, kick Donald to call us.
You fucking asshole.
That would be
Janelle told me to call you. Like, no.
What if he came through? What if she came through and he called us and he was like, yeah, Janelle called. And he's like, and we took up all the time. He's like, oh, Janelle was going to call in to talk to Todd. But he's like, we're out of time. What?
She can't say that she's not, or else that makes her a total racist.
I think she's into white dudes. I think she makes some exceptions. No, that's bad for you.
Oh, no, Janelle, come on.
Sorry.
That'd be like if I asked, did you think Lauryn Hill's into white dudes?
Yeah.
Yes, she is. We had a love affair.
That's good.
It's called The Score. Starred De Niro and me. Is that the movie? And it's pantsless Marlon Brando.
Pantsless
Was he in that movie?
Yeah. He's, oh God, he's brilliant.
On paper, the movie looked amazing.
You know, there's bits of it that aren't, but I remember seeing the movie. There's bits of it that weren't bad. But the thing I remember most about it is actually, you remember when Conan on the late night show used to do those bits about like, he would review a movie and he's like, but it's really weird that they did this or whatever. And I remember they did that movie. And he was like, yeah, but he was like, Brando's weight just really distracted from the movie. And then so they showed a scene and he's sitting at the bar and he's talking to De Niro and he's doing whatever. And then Brando was like, you're a sweetheart. You're a sweetheart. And then all of a sudden he just falls through the ground. Like he just, and then just disappears and it's just like dust coming up. And I was just, I remember that more than anything in the movie.
That half an hour one he does?
Yeah, he's doing that. And he's doing it from, I think he's doing it from Largo instead of his house.
Right.
But there's no audience there or anything like that. And then he's still like teleconferencing with people and stuff.
What's his name? Henry Cavill just signed on for more Supermans.
Yeah. I love the drama of everything that went on there is so bananas. He gets fired as Superman. Mm-hmm. Batfleck quits. Mm-hmm. And like all these different things happen. And then they're like,
now they're all back.
And then the whole Snyder Cut thing happens, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we just fired the 2 lead members of the cat." Oh no, because they fired Cavill too. So so all that happens. Like,
Mustache Gate.
We're missing all that. Yeah, we're missing. Oh, I actually
totally not his fault.
That was another
called
time.
Scheduling a movie.
Yeah.
And if I was Tom Cruise, you would think I'd be like, "Fuck you guys, man."
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, he was able to do it. He just couldn't get rid of his mustache, which is why they had to do that.
Well, they tried to get him to chop his mustache off.
Yeah.
And the other studio would then put the mustache in.
Yeah.
In Mission Impossible. And Chris was like, yeah, no fucking way.
Eat a butt. Sorry about your, sorry that you have to do reshoots. But
he's going into space soon. I'm really scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared for Tom Cruise. I'm scared for Doug Liman, the director of Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah.
Or no, it's called Tomorrow Again.
Yeah.
Tomorrow Again.
Yesterday never goes down.
Yesterday never dies on alien planet. Whatever, but the two of them are going to space.
Yeah.
To film something.
Yeah.
And I'm scared. I'm fucking scared.
But what a story that would be.
I know.
What if you're gonna flame out? That's the way to do it.
I know. I'm so scared. He's going on Virgin Mobile or something. He's going up there to meet Elron. That's what he's doing.
Oh God, yeah.
He's gonna reconvene with the spirit of Elron.
Oh, I am telling you right now, Leah Remini, write this down. I am going to become a Scientologist if the following happens. Whatever vessel he is on, if he's on the space station, or if he's just on a like in orbit on some ship or something like that, I want. Well, no, I don't want this to happen. But if it happens, then I like they go to do reentry, and something fails, and he crashes into a volcano.
Oh my God.
Scientology come to life in our faces.
He crashes into a... Oh my, he's Xenu.
He is Xenu. This is what I'm saying.
Of course he's fucking Xenu.
So actually, again, going through all these graphics, probably the thing that we have second most in our titles, Scientology.
Fucking A.
We talk about it a ton.
Donald Glover and Scientology.
If Donald Glover becomes a Scientologist, our podcast has to change.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, so Kelly Preston died.
Yes.
And his son died.
Yes.
Like, do you really... Is Travolta still a Scientologist? Like, dear God, man.
Yeah. Well, I don't think...
Are you still, like...
Yeah. That is what it is.
This would be, like pretty blatantly obvious. You know, you just get the fuck out of there before Tom Cruise crashes into a volcano, becomes Xenu.
Yeah, because then everybody's going to be... I actually was looking at things. I was watching the news, and... I was like, probably the most evidence of God existing is how much he would currently be hating Trump right now with a pandemic, wildfire. No, but just wait. A pandemic, wildfires, hurricanes, floods, and riots all at the exact same time. And I was like, if any Christian is out there and saying that he's like, oh, and in any way supporting Trump, just know that your big guy fucking hates him.
Oh yeah,
he is not a fan. I love
the whole thing with the scientists.
Yeah,
where they're like Trump just goes on and on about like the California fires, about how there's underbrush that he's like literally.
Oh, he's like clean the floor.
Just exploding. He's like trees are exploding. Blah blah blah. And they're like, Trump, it's more than like the bottoms, you know, of things falling. That's like what nature does. They're like, global warming is warming up California, so the trees everything's warmer, so there's going to be more fires. And he's like, whoa. He's like, I can tell you right now, it's going to cool down. And they're like, well, we wish we could have that kind of mentality, but science, he's like, science doesn't know.
I know, I did see.
Was like, science doesn't
know. He goes, I don't think
better than me.
He's like, I don't think science really knows. Was the exact quote. Yeah. And it's just like, I'm like, I would love.
Just like, I don't understand. Well, one of them, we wouldn't have just been like, you're a fucking moron.
It must be.
Right to his face.
Like I don't understand how he can be so thin-skinned too. Like when somebody insults him and he goes friggin' rage out.
Yeah.
His narcissism is so high that shit should be bouncing off him like bullets off of Superman. Yeah. Like if somebody should go, you have little hands, it's like, no, they're the biggest. And just like it's like
you freaks.
And
he's gonna go on a Twitter tirade against like the lady that didn't give him his nugget sauce from McDonald's.
The low-rated lady from the low-rated nugget lady. #sad. #Wendy's. And like,
he wasn't even at Wendy's.
No,
he was at McDonald's.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He's now going Wendy's is the way. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that was that. And then we found out that Todd's favorite actor of all time, Tom Hardy, looks to be the next James Bond.
Oh, I knew we were forgetting something.
No, we weren't. The
preview for the new James Bond movie looks so fucking good.
Looks great.
Oh, my word. And then I heard that it was going to be Tom Hardy, and I was like,
yeah, like nothing has...
Idris Elba.
Oh, God, it would have been so bad.
That's who it should have been. Better. That guy's totally James Bond.
I feel like he thinks he's too old now. I think that if
fucking how old's what's his name? The one right now.
He's kind of at the I think he's
50. How old's Idris?
I think they're the same age, which is kind of the point. Which is like
guy to run around for you.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
No, yeah, fair enough. But it's I would personally like to see that too. But it's I think Bond he's
is Barbara Broccoli's racist. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's racist.
Oh yeah.
There was only like
Cubby-
one black
well, Cubby
person in any
Broccoli's
James
dead.
Bond movie, which was like Grace Jones.
Yeah, at first I thought you said one black man, and then you said Grace Jones, and I was gonna laugh, but then I realized you said person.
Well, now the new one's
no,
got lost,
Jeffrey Wright. Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah, true.
Jeffrey Wright was a great Felix Leiter.
Yeah, he was great,
He
actually.
was so good. I'm a brother from Langley. He's so I love listening to him talk because he's
does
also
have
in
a
the
pretty slick voice.
he's also in the Hunger Games,
Yes.
and he's really good in that. He's beady. Yeah, that's from. Yeah, you're hearing a little weird hum. That's from something I did. Oh, maybe we talked about all that Scientology stuff when they're outside.
Oh, they're humming.
If you
They're
don't
humming
look
around, baby.
if I know anything, you don't look back, you're safe. It's only when you look back that you get murdered. And murder. Like that.
Candyman.
Speaking of Hunger Games though, which is kind of why I brought it up. But I've been listening to the audiobook of the Hunger Games prequel, the song of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite interesting.
Is it a prequel that was written after?
Yeah, like the woman who wrote the original trilogy just wrote this, and it just came out like a couple months ago. And so I've been, because readings for dummies, so I got the audiobook.
True that.
Well, no, I pay for Audible, so why would I not? But it's
Did you say you pay for edibles?
no, Audible.
Oh.
And this episode brought to you by Audible, except it's not because I had to pay for it.
Yeah. Fucking right.
But yeah, so basically it's President Snow is not president yet because he's like 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the 10th Hunger Games, and he's actually one of the first mentors because in the history, well, they lay out the history of the Hunger Games for you. The first 10 Hunger Games were basically they did the reaping. They basically threw everybody into a cattle train, brought them in, threw them into like a stadium, and then they just had a bunch of weapons there, and then they just all killed each other, and that was the end of it. It was done in like a matter of like a couple hours. And
I think you were gonna say a couple of minutes. I was like, wow, that one guy's really holding on. So it's like in the demolition derby where like this car's gonna go, but no, it doesn't. It keeps going.
So this is you follow him.
That series really shit the bed.
I know.
Ugh.
But you're following him as like a guy who's trying to make like the whole group of people. He goes to this like academy, and he's studying under, well, not studying under, but being kind of mentored by like the head game maker, who she's looking for ideas for ways to make people watch it. And like there's like
Murder's just not enough.
exactly. Well, no, because
Like,
people
wow.
don't want to watch the gruesome murders like every year and stuff like that. So
But they keep forcing it on them.
they keep forcing it on, but then they're like, okay, we're gonna have to make it a law for that people around the country have to watch, and like it's all these things. And then he starts going, we need to make it exciting. We need to make people like have people cheer, and we have to we have to make it like a spectacle. So like you're actually watching all the things that you know about the Hunger Games, things like sponsors, the betting and stuff like that, all start to come in this like at their suggestion. And he is actually the mentor of a District 12 girl too, which is fun in its own way. The only thing I don't like about it, I'm going to give my review right now. I'm about a third of the way in.
Can you really give a review on something if you're a third of the way in?
The thing I'm going to give a review on, I can't give a review on the book as a whole, but the thing I am going to, the narrator is boring.
Yeah.
I think like I have read, or I've heard so many different ones. Will Wheaton does the narration for, not for this book. So you have to like stop jumping ahead of my sentences because I'm going to finish them. Finish your sandwiches.
Going?
Yeah. No, but he did the what was it? Ready Player One.
It was an awesome movie.
It was a way better book. And
Probably.
And it's but a big part of that is because there was so much more. Like they mentioned Spielberg a lot in that, and Spielberg took out almost all the Spielberg
references
from the thing. The only things that stick are the dinosaur and the DeLorean.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, just side note, the guy who designed the DeLorean for Back to the Future with all the stuff, and also designed characters from the Mos Eisley Cantina, and worked on Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that. He was a big-time production designer who did a ton of like big things. He just passed away, so I can't remember his name right now, but I'm sorry. Under here, I'll put like for the repeat of this, I'll have his name underneath.
If you were making a movie adaptation of a book, and this book had you mentioned in it all the time, would you leave you in, or would you take you out?
I'm not criticizing him for doing it. I just like the book better because it has. Oh, I would take it out.
I would too.
I would be a
little too self-serving.
Exactly, because then people would then question, did he just take this project because he could talk about himself so much?
Right.
So yeah, no, I think he 100% did the right thing. But actually the dinosaur was snuck in. He was not aware it was theirs because it had no bearing on story, whereas the DeLorean did.
Probably in the big action end sequence where all the characters are.
Yeah. No,
they also lost. There's lots of references that they didn't make into the movies just because of
there's
rights and Jesus, how many guys are you gonna have?
And the story's a little bit cooler as well, like how he gets the first key and stuff like that. Is the Shining
part in the book?
No, it's different. So the three things in the movie, they the first thing they do is that race, and that's how he gets the first key. The second thing is the Shining.
But it is The Shining.
No, I'm talking in the movie. I'm laying out the movie first, and then I'm going back to the book. So it's the race, then The Shining, and then playing the old school Atari game. And in the book version, the first thing is you have to find it, and there's this cave, and then basically you real life play. It's an Atari game, or it's based on an Atari game, but you're the person, and you have to get through the whole thing. And then at the end, there's the game, and you have to beat death at the game.
Right.
So it's at Joust. They play Joust against each other, but the whole game going up to that is based on some one of the early video games, role playing games. And then the second thing, he has to go to a planet that is basically the guy who created the Oasis. It's basically his neighborhood just repeated over and over in the whole planet, and you have to go find the one place where you can it's like this pizza place or something. I don't want to spoil too much for people who haven't read the book, but you get sucked into this other world, and you have to do this thing, and then you get the second key.
I wonder why they wrote The Shining.
I think they just liked I think they wanted to have more pop culture references, and they probably owned, it was probably the same company who
they worked.
So it was just something they could get easily that people would know. Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
And then the third thing is essentially it's the same-ish.
The video game.
Yeah. And
Pong.
So
you are the Pong.
But it's cool, and it's just I get it. It's just the way that the book is allowed to stretch things out that you just couldn't do in the movie.
Right.
Like he doesn't find the key. Like in the movie, he finds the key. The key is the first thing that happens. Pretty much, it's like he's doing the race is the first scene.
No, I figured he just goes backwards.
Yeah, exactly. So he's that happens so fast in the movie, or in the book. It's quite a few chapters in when he realizes what he has to do.
Right.
And then you move forward. So it's the things you lose out on.
Jersey Boys coming out.
I have no idea.
He was directing that. Maybe the pandemic.
No, Jersey Boys that movie came out ages ago, and
his directing.
No, he's doing West Side Story.
West Side Story. Sorry, I meant West Side Story. Yeah.
No, that's. I think that's done. I think that's probably.
It's in the can, baby.
Yeah, I imagine they're just waiting on a time to release it. Which we were talking before the show. We were talking about Tenet and how it's not going to make its boring movie. It's not going to make its movie back or money back. But it's they should have. If they wanted a chance to make their money, they should have delayed it another year.
I
some
agree.
people, because nobody can go to the theaters. The theaters here. There's 5 movies out right now. It's friggin' Tenet, Unhinged, New Mutants,
Bill and Ted.
I
gotta go see Bill and Ted tomorrow.
And then the SpongeBob movie. But places that have 9, 10, 12 theaters, whatever, they're playing these movies in multiple theaters so that they can get bodies because they can't fill any one theater.
Right.
So I don't know what it's like in the States, but that's how it is in Canada.
One seat then someone?
No, it's you can sit with your group of people, but there's nobody else in your row. And there's nobody else in the row in front of you or the row behind you.
Dear God.
And so, but it's like one in the center, then 2 on the sides on this row, and then 1 in the center, and like that.
I'm going to go check it out tomorrow, actually, if I can. I'm going to see if Bill has a plan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it still is. And it's worthwhile. Check it out.
Have you seen it?
Thing? No. It's Bill and Ted. Of course it's going to be
It's going to be fucking awesome.
If my daughter would have liked the first one, we were actually going to go see it, but she didn't like the first one. And but Reese loved the first one.
Of course, he's a boy.
Yeah, that was
a boy movie.
That was it. She did not care for it.
It's
She's
totally a boy movie.
She was so bored by it. But I actually watched The Hunger Games with the kids because I was trying to find something.
Did he love the Ziggy Piggies part?
He laughed at everything.
Of course,
was just
right?
like anytime anything happened, he was just like, ha ha.
Right, just like us.
Yeah,
fucking A, just like his old man.
Yeah. His old man, easily satisfied.
Let's get out of here.
All right, no, we're going to let you know what we're doing next week, guys. We are doing a movie that we immediately regretted doing the second we started getting into it.
5 minutes in, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was something else. And but it was one that was Todd's suggestion, and I hadn't seen it in so long. I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm saying that you made a suggestion that was intriguing. And so we decided to do it. We watched it. Our brains melted slightly more. I would say more so than the Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you can watch us devolve into madness next week when we take on. I'm waiting. I'm drawing everybody in right now. The Garbage Pail Kids.
I didn't know what you were talking about. Yeah, he's totally right. Oh my God.
All right, guys, let's have a listen to that trailer.
Once upon a time, or was it more recently, there was a young boy named Dodger. He was the sort of child who was always left out of things. Each day after school, Dodger works in a junk shop owned by the mysterious Captain Mancini.
Witch's broth and vampire's brew make these clothes as good as new.
Dodger has never had a family or a friend he could call his own. Until now.
What's that? They came out to help us.
Meet the Garbage Pail Kid.
Starring Nat Nurse, Windy Winston, Messy Tessie.
Give him a chance, Tangerine. You'll like it.
I agree with you, Nitwit. This is the most drawn-out trailer I've ever seen, but it really lines up with the movie.
I'm gonna get fired for this.
Foul Phil.
Nice and it totes.
The Garbage Pail Kids movie. They may not be pretty, but boy, they make great friends. Starring Anthony Newley and Mackenzie Aston. The Garbage Pail Kids movie.
I love this.
Tour de force.
For people who don't know, who aren't on the stream right now, Nitwit Karen 1912 said, holy shit trailer, get to the point. I could not agree more.
You have to watch the movie. There is no point.
There's no.
It's amazing. Where's the plot to this fucking thing? They're not even that gross.
No, but what's great about it is you're watching
people are watching us live right now.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
But say hi, Karen. Nitwit Karen. I assume that Karen's probably more like your real name and less Nitwit.
Dude, wait more. I forgot we were online here, man. I would have taken my dick out. Fuck.
But yeah, it is.
We can do anything by working with each other.
What's in this? Say for me.
You want to have an experience where the entire time you're like, do I have the nerve to kill myself? Like, if I had the money, would you kill me?
Yeah.
It is like going into your own. It's like the multiverse of madness. Like you will experience things you've never experienced before. You'll have visions. You'll probably pass out. You'll probably throw up bugs, like that guy from the fucking movie with his glass at his head. Yeah, that one. Bugs will come out of your bum. Like you. Oh my god. Your third eye will open. You will ascend.
I don't know if they make great friends is the tagline for that, but yeah, but
they were pretty good friends. The guy was an asshole. Anyways, you'll have to see.
Yeah. They
see for
you seem like
yourself.
goddamn nightmares. But literally the entire time we're watching this, and it's like I don't think I listened to the episode like as I uploaded it and stuff like that. Not online. It's not out yet. It doesn't come out till next week. But I was listening to it, and I'm like, it doesn't get lost, because sometimes we'll watch a movie and you're just like, I can hear our energy draining out, like our life force draining out of us, and like, that didn't happen. But I can feel like, right? like I can feel myself thinking the whole time, like, what are we doing? Like, is this the life we chose? Is this why we don't get paid to do this podcast?
Is this the life
like, holy shit! But and it is. That's the problem. It is the life that we chose. But also, I think that there's probably no greater contrast to doing the Goonies last week than to do the Garbage Pail Kids this week.
And then we have to do
Schindler's List.
Yes, exactly.
Move up to Schindler's List next
version.
week. Yeah.
Where they added all these zany slide whistles and farts. It is hilarious.
I saw it was a John Oliver thing, and it was just them. Jim Cramer, the money mad or mad money guy, whatever.
Yes.
It is. And he's always hitting the sound effects and stuff like that. They just replaced every time he hit a button for a sound effect, they replaced it with a fart. And it was just like, he's like, it's time to sell. And it was just, but over and then he like hit them a lot and it'd be like.
Sound like the fucking bog of eternal stench.
It was just, oh my god,
farts, man.
I like when stuff did not siphon my life force. Please, oh my god, go and review our podcast with that as the review. Did not siphon my life force. Thanks, Miscast Commentary. You did not siphon my life force. Not this time, anyways.
Yeah.
You just wait. We're gonna pick a movie that's
probably just recovered from the last one. They just woke up from a coma from Mario Brothers, and then boom, it's like Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, you only had to do it once though. I had to re-record it after that whole thing got friggin' destroyed.
That is unreal.
Well, the thing was, I was going to just abandon it, but we literally in the previous episode we kept talking about how we're doing video game movies all month, and this is gonna be it. And then
I was like, lost tape, whatever. Yeah. It'll be like when they find AT in the fucking desert.
See, and that was early enough to like even that much earlier in the podcast when fewer people were listening to a point where I could have broken that promise and nobody would have given a shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's totally the type of promise.
I was trying to maintain an integrity that was benefiting nobody, and it only hurt me.
It's true. That's like when somebody like, we're going to go do this, and everyone's like, ew, that sounds like shit. So then when the person who said, we're going to go do this, they forget, you're like, oh, fuck yeah.
Well, that would be like having like a conversation with a girl on Twitter, on Tinder, and then saying like, after finding out what her name is, going, I will never cheat on you. And it's just like, and that's like the first thing, and you're like, there's no stakes here. We're not even dating. And like, that's kind of where
I swear to God, like Tinder's just about people talking a few times back and forth and then never speaking to each other again. It is so wonderful. I'm like, this is great.
You know what? I should probably join Tinder then, because that sounds amazing. Like my goddamn dream.
Hey, we matched. Isn't that cool? So what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And then boom, you never hear from them again.
We matched. High five, bro.
Yeah. Awesome. High five, bro. Exactly.
Oh, that's why I'm not getting any dates.
I also enjoy all the ethically non-monogamous women out there.
Oh, really?
Can you tell me how that's going to work out for you when you're 50?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I have a feeling that they'll suddenly be monogamous.
Yeah.
But well, you know, the only channel we get on work is The View. Is that the one with Whoopi?
I don't know if she's still there.
She is.
She was
Whoopi and Joy, and I love them.
Joy's never leaving.
Love the show.
Yeah,
I want to be on it.
You watch a lot of talk shows that are all women discussing things, because you always tell me about that one with
Wendy Williams.
No, Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams is going to play me in the biography of my life.
Nice. Who's going to play me then?
Luis Guzman.
I'm totally on board with that. I'm doing it's me, Luis Guzman.
We asked he's like a little Mexican guy that we work with. He's the boss. Is David?
I thought you were describing Luis Guzman to people.
We asked him. We were like, who's gonna play you in the movie of your life? He's like, didn't skip a beat. He's like, Richard Gere. We're like, fucking A. You're like, fucking A.
That's awesome.
He could pull it off, Richard Gere, fucking A.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's it for us, guys.
Yeah, fucking A. It's good to watch some Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some of our, actually, that's another announcement worth doing too, is we are going to be, because we've been releasing Binge Watchers on the Wall episodes on our miscast commentary stream in the next, probably beginning of October, it's going to be its own stream. You'll be able to subscribe and download Binge Watchers on the Wall separately from miscast commentary. I don't know why you'd want to, but it's just a chance to get it a little bit more discovered, because like, you know, you can actually look up Game of Thrones podcast and find it, but you're not going to find it that way, hidden amongst the gold that is miscast commentary.
That's right.
So you got that going for you, and I'm gonna launch that from the beginning again, just so people have an opportunity to catch all the episodes who are seeing it for the first time. People who have not, well, I'm sorry, you'll have to just wait a little bit.
Sorry.
Apologies. Until next week, guys, when we're gonna watch the Garbage Pail Kids. But here, please, if you have the opportunity to do so, watch it as well. Watch it with us, just so at the very least, because I fear that when we watch movies like that and you kind of hear that de-evolution of us, I don't think
like
that
when we even talk shit about it.
Yeah.
Before it comes out. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Precisely. But when you hear that, I think that you're not in our mind frame, because you're not seeing what we're seeing at the moment.
Exactly.
I think if you're in there, you're going to be like, well, of course, like, yeah, 100%, right? So
right.
you're and it's going to be that vague of an agreement, because like you just won't be able to think about anything else. All right, but next week, guys, we're doing that. In the meantime, go to miscastcommentary.com. Just do it. Even if you just go there, click on every single page, and then go back to Amazon. I don't give a shit. But just do that.
Clicking.
Me seeing
click all.
Me seeing, like, whenever I see one of our like analytics things when it's going like this, it makes me happy. So I don't know, make me happy. Do that. Email us.
Make him happy.
Just do it. Somebody's got to. This guy has.
If he's not happy, then I got to hear about it, and it's like, oh God.
Nonstop. I am a treat to deal with. I can't imagine. My wife stays married to me, and I think that's as far as that's gonna go.
Sounds good enough for me.
No, it sounds great, but I don't like. I don't know what just happened to me.
You just
Sorry,
gave up on
baby.
life. I don't know. The Garbage Pail Kids just worked its way right into your actual life there.
I know. So email us, podcast@miscastcommentary.com. I'm gonna get through this. Find us on Twitter @miscastpodcast. I'm at JK Finley. Todd's at miscasttodd. I'm actually gonna hit all those things again. Watch this. The miscast podcast, so you can see it on the thing. And then, as always, subscribe to us, like us. That's horrible. That's just like an awful thing to say. Like us, please, like us. But
that's what everybody says.
Like the videos.
Like them if you want to.
Comment. We like the comments. I love the chat stuff. Nitwick, Karen, Kalena, thank you so much for chiming in today. We appreciate that. And
thanks, ladies.
Yeah.
Nitwick, Karen, 1912.
Yeah, she's very old.
Oh, I like
but
that.
It's
That's cool. I'll be
yeah.
older chicks.
Yeah.
As in dead.
She's 108.
She could totally still be alive. I think the oldest person alive just died. They were like 112 or something.
Yeah. But there was 120.
So that's like second oldest friggin' nitwit.
Oh, no, we're getting on the point. I'm losing my thing. Instagram at miscast commentary.
For real.
If you are not watching us on Twitch currently, you can do that. We will be doing our episodes on Twitch. Plus, I do some other stuff on there as well. I play video games on the side when I'm lonely, and that's twitch.tv/miscast commentary. You can find me or both of us there at the exact same time. Should I confess something right now?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta confess. You know the stream that we did last time?
Yeah.
It didn't have any audio.
Oh, fucking A.
I had to re-record the episode afterwards.
Oh my God.
Because I went to go listen to it because there was a clip I wanted to take because there was something that was really funny. It was a really good episode. I was so happy with it. And you know what else I didn't do? I didn't hit record on this, so we didn't have an episode at all.
Right now?
No, on the last one. on the last one. So I had to re-record the episode, but because I was like, oh, well, the audio's here. I'll just steal the audio and then I'll leave that, and then I'll just make that into the podcast after I've edited it on the video. And it all fell apart, which is why I made absolutely sure that it's recording in 2 spots right now. So,
well, that's good news.
All right, guys, until next week, I'm Joe Finley.
I'm Todd. TiVo, the sailor. Murray.
And bye-bye.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.